Good morning from Laquille, Puerto Rico. I am outside, the sun is in my face, so don't mind me. But before we get into today's topic, I kind of want to show you a little bit about where we're staying. So this right here, this is the money shot. This is what it's all about. Look at that right there. How beautiful is the ocean? So we have sold our house, sold the car, sold all of our stuff. We're officially location independent. We're here in Puerto Rico. We have a vlog called Globalpreneur Life where Cindy and I are showing the journey and all of the travel vlogs and all that good stuff. I'll link it below. Make sure you check that out. But I know that you wanted to see this before we get into today's topic. So let's go inside here. Here's the Airbnb. This is our little work area here where we've been getting it in since we got here, but let's get into today's topic. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kamanzi Constable. Here we talk about business, life, travel, and trending topics. I'm very glad you're here. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification so that you can get all of the notifications when I drop new content. My goal is to give you practical content that will help you build every part of your life and business. I know you were worried. I do have coffee. I am a coffee addict. Cindy would say I'm a coffee addict, right?
I would say, yes.
And I would have to say that is true as well. I don't want to front. Coffee is life. I started my first business at 19 years old. I had the opportunity to jump into a market that was not being served. And without getting into all the details of what that business was, I had a vacation relief service for independent bread vendors. It was a great business, low overhead, easy to start. And in fact, people still do that business today. But it wasn't the business that was for me. While it generated great revenue, I wasn't good at managing it. And I definitely was not good at managing employees. Definitely not good at managing that. And in 2011, while I was operating this business, I discovered podcast and I discovered Smart Passive Income with Pat Flynn. And I started hearing Pat talk about this idea of the laptop lifestyle and making money on the internet and more specifically making money from your knowledge and expertise. Up to that point in my life, at 19 years old, I'd lived a lot of life up to that point. I had generated money by physical labor. So it was always manual labor jobs, working at Pepsi or Sara Lee or Frito-Lay, or even the business that I had. It was a lot of physical labor jobs. And this idea of being able to generate revenue just from my knowledge and expertise about business life and topics and et cetera, was exciting, but it was very unknown. When I first heard about making money online, I thought it was a scam. In the same way that, I'll be honest with you, when people start talking about cryptocurrency, I'm like, oh boy, that's just, that's a scam and that's, for hackers and all that good stuff. And I formed an opinion without actually doing research. And that's kind of how I felt about the internet marketing situation. And in 2011, I was not tech savvy at all. I didn't own a laptop at that point. I don't even think I was on social media at that point. So this idea of this making money online thing just seemed very foreign to me. But as I listened to Pat day in and day out on the podcast and then discovered more podcasts about the topic, what they were saying made a lot of sense. They weren't talking about making an extra 5 or 6 figures or any of the kind of get rich quick stuff that we hear today. They were talking about building an audience and selling products and services and getting results for your clients. A lot of tried and true basic business principles. So in 2011, I decided I'm gonna give it a go. I wrote an ebook. I had a website built. I kind of was out there on the internet and it was not successful initially. I think all of 2011, I don't know that I even cracked $1,000 in revenue at that point from book sales and whatever else I was offering at that point. but it did get me excited to make those first few dollars, and it made me realize I just needed to figure this out. Just like anything else, I need to figure it out. So I spent 2012 building an audience, writing for various websites as guest host. I was interviewed on some podcasts. I did local meetups where I lived in Milwaukee, connecting with the entrepreneurs, and I started to build an audience. And as I built that audience wanted to know, how could I help them? Now, I couldn't really help them back then probably the way that they wanted to be helped because I had no clarity on what my messaging was. But I looked at the industry leaders, I saw what they were doing, and I kind of mimicked what they were doing. And by the end of that year, by the end of 2012, I did have a business that was consistently generating $5,000 a month. Now, how did I do that? Well, I offered coaching. I eventually started offering some fulfillment work. I mean, back then I was doing a hodgepodge of things. So I had coaching, I had all of these various master classes that I was doing. And at one point I was even building websites for people. Like, that's dangerous. I should not be building anybody's website. But I did, $500. I built you a simple WordPress website, and people signed up for it all day long. Knowing what I know now, I understand why they signed up for it all day long. Did they get a basic website? Yes. Was it worth their $500? Probably. But I'm not a web designer and I'm not a developer, and I know just enough about code to ruin your website, so I can't do that for you. But I did that, various things. And I operated that way for a lot of my entrepreneurial journey. I did various things to generate revenue. I got more clarity on what my messaging was and how I could help people. And I had spent years, almost 10 years, having a business that the primary revenue from that business was primarily from coaching and offering fulfillment services. Now, coaching, I always had told my coaching clients back then that if you were trying to generate revenue quickly, coaching was the way to do it, because you could put out an offer on social media, make the offer appealing, and people could private message you. You get on a call with them and you say, hey, this is what my coaching package is. This is what you'll learn in it. And they can make a decision right there on the spot to hire you. They can pay the invoice. You could have your money in the bank account the next day. That's what coaching can do for you. And it's why so many people coach. And so that's what I did. I've told clients about that. Fulfillment services, incredibly profitable. If there are a whole subset of people that want what you offer, but they don't have the time to kind of figure it out and piece it together, so they'll pay you to do it for them. And so no matter what your offering is, and especially with what we do with helping people get into large publications such as Forbes and Entrepreneur, etc., us creating the pitches for them and pitching on their behalf, and it was a very attractive offer, and it would bring nice hits of revenue, and some of our highest revenue months came from offering those fulfillment services. So coaching, client fulfillment, it can be incredibly profitable. But the question that I had to ask myself was it for me? And looking back on it now, the answer to that question is no, it wasn't for me. Now, I don't regret doing it. I love the thousands of clients that I've worked with over the years and have gotten incredible results for a lot of those clients. They're published all over the place. They've booked gigs. They've built their business. And so I definitely don't regret it. And it was interesting to learn from so many different people and so many different walks of life, and to hear some real life situations every now and then on those coaching calls. So I definitely don't regret that. And the fulfillment to ghostwrite articles. I have thousands of ghostwritten articles out there and thousands of pitches that I've pitched on behalf of clients. So I definitely don't regret that, because every one of those experiences, there was moments to learn. And in fact, when it comes to learning what's going on with large publications, which is primarily what we do, that knowledge came from pitching on behalf of clients. So I definitely don't regret that time, but it wasn't for me. It didn't fit who I am. It's not in alignment with what I want to do. And when I woke up every day and I saw a full schedule of coaching clients and work that had to be fulfilled, it slowly just, it ate away at my soul every single day having to do that. Now I did it because that's how it is in entrepreneurship. You're not going to always love everything that you're doing. Maybe there are some people that do. Maybe some people that have built huge YouTube channels. They're just, but even then you're recording, and then there's all those challenges that come with that. But I did it because it helped us in the time that we're in. And it brought me to this point now where I had to sit down and figure out, what do I want to do? So why did I stop working with clients? Why did I stop client work? Why did I stop coaching? Because it wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. Now, what's for me? I love to write. Writing's my first love. I would write all day long. I'd write articles every day, all day, whether somebody was paying me or they were not paying me. That I would do all day long. I want to be published everywhere. I want to be in the New York Times and in Thrive Global. I want to be in the Washington Post, and I want to be in some comedy publication, right? Because I'm very funny, or at least I think I'm very funny. So I want to be published everywhere. And if we had, between Cindy and I, we had a Forbes and an Inc. and a Success and Ask Man and all these publications, and it required 12 articles a week, I'd rather write 12 articles for us than write 12 articles for clients, because it's just a different energy and it's just a different feeling. And so that I can do all day long. We have our membership program, Publish and Paid, where we teach entrepreneurs and content creators and writers how they can get published in large publications such as Forbes and Inc. and Entrepreneur. And I love it. I love the Q&As that we have every month with that community. I love seeing them post wins. We've already recorded all the content, so the content's there for them to consume. So the heavy lifting, if you will, is already done, and it's a membership program, so it brings revenue every single month. It brings that quote-unquote mailbox money that people talk about every single month, and I really love that. I love it in the fact that it's passive, that it doesn't require a whole bunch of our time, and that the community is actually a community of people that are taking action. That's what makes it exciting. So I love that aspect. And then of course, YouTube. YouTube is great. I like getting on camera here, recording content. We do travel videos on our Globalpreneur Life channel, where we're vlogging all of our travels all over the world. That's exciting, and people enjoy seeing that. And then I like my coffee. I do coffee reviews on TikTok. I actually really enjoy that as well because I'm passionate about coffee. So now when I wake up and I think about how I get to spend my time, I still have like a little bit of bitter, grumpy man syndrome. I'm not going to front. And I'm sure Cindy, if she was on the camera, she'd probably say, he's still got a little bit of that. So I don't want to front, but it takes time. And I did that for 10 years. So I'm kind of in the phase now where I'm like transitioning to, let's do this. Let's wake up every day. Let's do what we enjoy. I'm fighting the urge every day to feel like I have to be doing certain things. That's definitely ingrained with me. Like if I don't write 10 articles in a day and I don't send off 12 pitches for Cindy and I don't do all of these things, I feel like I'm not productive at all. So I'm kind of relearning and figuring that out as I go. But I'm excited for what we're doing. I'm excited for how my days look now, and I'm excited for the future. Now, I didn't just quit coaching and client work and everything that we're doing and leave us. We're not at the point where we're going to be at, $50 in revenue every single month because we let go of the main thing that paid our bills. We built a business, an established business that has these revenue streams with publications and with our membership. And we offer strategy sessions where we can just give people a roadmap, a 90-minute quick tactical, let's give you the roadmap. This is what you need to do, now go do it. We still offer those things, and it's great. And those are things that we actually enjoy. So we got to the point where the business had that established. So what I'm not advocating here is you saying, well, yeah, I really don't like coaching. I really don't like fulfillment. Let me just go quit. I don't know how I'm going to make money, but I'm going to quit and I'm going to figure it out. I'm definitely not advocating that at all. You have to pay your bills. You have to live your life, so you have to figure out how you're going to get there first. And so we got to a baseline point where things are established and they're building and it's great and we're doing great. And now it's going deeper in these things. So getting into some higher tier publications that pay like a Forbes and Inc. Building up our membership. I hope you consider the membership. If you want to get published in large publications, I think it'd be great for you to jump in the membership. but continuing to build that membership and going deep on the things that I actually enjoy doing. So I quit working with clients because working with clients wasn't for me. I don't want to look at my schedule and see all of these appointments. I'd rather wake up and write. I'd rather wake up and create content. And for you, I don't know what that is for you. You have to figure out, how do you want to wake up and how do you want to spend your time? Do you want to coach? Do you want to write? Do you want to consult? Do you want to do a podcast? Do you want to, I don't know what that is. You have to figure that out. But the point is to take some time to figure out what are the elements that you want in your business, what are the elements you don't, and then start figuring out how can you get your business to the point where it's only doing the things that you want to do. And what you'll find is when you wake up at that point, it does not feel like work because you're doing all of the different things that you enjoy. So that's my challenge to you. What do you want to do? What kind of model do you want for your business? Let me know in the comments. Do you want a passive revenue? Do you want to speak on stages? Do you want to do client fulfillment? Do you want to coach? Whatever it is, let me know in the comments. I'd be curious to hear what that is. But I don't want you to think that you have to work with clients, you have to coach, you have to do all these things because these are the profitable things or some industry leader said that you have to do them. You actually don't. You have to figure out what's in alignment for you, what feels good to you, and then how can you make that work. And if you go deep, if you look at anybody who's successful, they've figured out what those things are and they've gone deep on those things. And you can do the same thing. Don't build a business that feels like a job. Don't build a life that you dread. Build a life that's in alignment and it's full of things that bring you joy. And what you're going to find is it's just going to continue to grow and flourish. And you can be in that minority of people that love their life, that love their work, that love what they get to do.